What's up, y'all? So today we are making some brown stew tofu, cabbage, and rice and peas. And when I say we, it's me and my god sister. She did most of the work, but I assisted here and there. And we got this recipe off of a YouTube video. I'll link it down below if y'all want to check it out. But anyways, let's get into it. So the first thing you want to do is let your kidney beans sit in some water for an hour to 3 hours just so they can soften up. We got our tofu from Walmart, and this is the firm kind. I know they have like a silken kind of tofu, but that's kind of too soft for what we're doing today, so just stick to the firm kind. And before we even started cutting, we actually dried it off with paper towels just because it comes wet. Like it comes in a certain liquid, I have no idea what it is, but just make sure you dry it off before you start cutting. And for the people who don't know what tofu is, it's basically a big block of soy. It's made from soybeans, kind of like the way cheese is made, where it's condensed into like a single block, and it's very high in protein. And as you can see, we noticed ours were a little bit too big, so we just went back and split them in half. Now that we got all the tofu cut up, we just went back and poked holes through them just so when we season, it's easier for the seasoning to get all throughout the tofu. Now it's time for the seasoning, and what we're using is some Sazon, some Jamaican All Spice, celery salt, and black pepper. And to be honest, y'all, when it came to the seasoning, we really did not have a specific measurement for it just because we had so many tofu and we had to keep remaking it. So if you want the specific measurements, like I said before, the video where we got this recipe from is linked down below. So now it's time for the vegetables, and we cut up some carrots, green peppers, habanero peppers just because we couldn't find Scotch bonnet, some green onions, white onions, and some tomatoes. Now we're putting olive oil into the bowl with the tofu just to help it marinate with the vegetables we're going to put in. And we had so much tofu that we had to transfer bowls, but it did help the oil evenly coat all the tofu. The vegetables we used to marinate with the tofu were some green onions, white onions, our habanero peppers, and some green peppers. So after adding the vegetables, we also added 2 capfuls of browning, and we're going to let it marinate for at least 30 minutes. While we let that marinate, we went ahead and put the kidney beans on the stove in some hot water along with green onions and white onions. So after about 30 minutes, we went ahead and fried the tofu, and we're using olive oil. So we let them sit for about 5 minutes on each side, but you'll know they're ready to be flipped or taken out after they turn this golden brown or dark brown color that you see right here. But be careful with taking them out because they are still soft. What's up? So I forgot to film this part, but all we did was we took the vegetables that the tofu was marinating in and we put them in the same pan that we fried the tofu in, along with the carrots and tomatoes, and we added a little bit of water and we just let them simmer down. So to make this ketchup mixture, all you're going to do is add 1.5 tablespoons of ketchup, 1 teaspoon of sugar and 1 teaspoon of water. And you're gonna go ahead and stir it into your pan along with the vegetables. So at this point, we added a little bit of water from the same bowl that our tofu marinated in and 2 teaspoons of browning. So now it's time to add the tofu, and I'm not even gonna lie y'all, our sauce kind of came out a little bit too salty, because if you saw before, our tofu was super duper seasoned, so all that seasoning came into the sauce. But if this happens to you, just add 1 whole lemon and it'll cut that seasoning down and it'll be perfect. So now we're back to the kidney beans, and they are softer. So we went ahead and washed our rice, and we are using Jasmine rice if you were wondering, but we went ahead and poured that into the same pot with the kidney beans and let that cook. So the last thing we're cooking is our cabbage, and we added red and yellow peppers and carrots, and all you do is just put it in a pot or pan with a little bit of oil and let it cook down. That's literally it. And we did add a little bit of salt and pepper, but you really don't need a lot of seasoning just because your tofu is already going to be super duper seasoned, so it kind of, evens out your meal. So this is what our rice is looking like. We did add a little bit of coconut milk just for some flavor, and it came out amazing. Everything came out super delicious. I think you guys should try it. Let me know if you do. Let me know how it goes. And I had to put it on the gram, so here's a little video of everything. But thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe down below, and I'll see you in my next one.